Yay.
Jazz hands. Maybe.
Something like that.
Hi, Stuart.
Hi, I would check the stream key.
Bye, Stuart. Okay, press that button again, see what happens. Okay.
April Fools, I fool you. I said stream key wasn't working. You believe me?
It's April 2nd,
Oh shit.
though.
Oh, it is? God damn it.
You're also here at the April Fool's episode. We had fun.
No, it wasn't me, man.
Oh, was that Sylvia in April Fool's costume?
Yes. She was dressed like the Aprilist fool of all.
Well, are you making an ape joke like you're an ape as well? Like a monkey?
No, why?
There isn't.
Oh. I'm confused.
Okay. I'm going to go on my Wi-Fi on my phone and test the audio. And Stuart does not corona cough because he doesn't have corona cough.
Hashtag not Ronikov. That's true. Ronikov sounds like a Russian-made gun.
It really does, yeah.
Well, it's like him. Anyway, hi guys. It's time to talk about things, I guess.
But Stuart, this is our penultimate Picard live.
Uh-huh.
This is our talking about the future. For tomorrow, we retrospectively talk about the entire season in one big go after rewatching it all in one big go. Holy shit!
Right? Yeah, so we're going to try to talk about the plot threads that didn't quite work and how they might tie into season 2, plus ideas we have for season 2. Love to get your thoughts on season 2 ideas as well. So be sure to chime in with super chats. You know the drill is.
And we're definitely going to bounce off you guys' thoughts as well on this one. Because we're pretty interested to see what you guys think. But yeah, and I've already watched 2 episodes of season 1 again. So I'm now going back through them.
How'd that treat you?
Till tomorrow. Gonna watch 2 to 3 more before I go to bed, and the rest tomorrow. So I'll be right up to the live. So I'll be very much in the world, and then jump into your world. Wait. That sounds dodgy. Hey guys. That'll be fun. It's our drunk live, therefore we aim to get boozed up. But that's only up to you guys as the super chat. Unlike today, where a super chat's equal discussion, tomorrow it'll be super chat's equal drunkenness. And as you guys know, after a few drinks, we get fun. Yeah, I might get even more honest. Who knows? Because 2 hours in, who knows what we're gonna say if you go for shots. Hashtag shot and hashtag drink. I'm gonna have my dad, the ambassador, pop round. I think we're both fine, so I'm not worried. And he'll be joining for a little bit. Sylvia might appear. I do like the idea of having both on, just them on for a bit, like 10 minutes. I think that'd be quite entertaining.
Ozzy throws in $5 those skeleton hands, he says. That's the thing now. Gotta make him like a skeleton hand emoji they can use in the chat.
It's a new catchphrase. I'm gonna start sharing and you can talk to the fans.
Fans? I'm just gonna talk to these people. As you guys know, you can help us out with super chats. Please do so, actually. We'd love to hear your ideas and thoughts for season 2 of Picard, what you'd like to see, what you think we will see. Yeah. And you can help us out other ways. Of course, Patreon, as you guys know, joining the channel is another great way to do it on a monthly basis. Or just buying some sweet Trekyards merch from down in our Teespring store down in the description of every video. There's lots of great ways that you guys can help us out and be part of the Trekyards family / team. So consider doing those things. Super chats are great, especially during these lives, as they really help us out. And you get your comment read, your voice heard, your question answered, blah blah blah. You know the routine. So yeah, and tomorrow around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I think is when we're starting. We are going to be doing our drunken retrospective of the season and see whether some of our episode scores should be tweaked or whatnot. So yeah, looking forward to that as well. So make sure you guys are going to be there and free to check it out and be part of it. and you guys kind of control what happens, and you can make it pretty interesting. Just saying. So yeah, as for tonight, it's just going to be the speculations and ideas that might be carried over to season 2, and things we might like to see, or things that would work for season 2 plot lines and stuff like that. So by all means, chime in. Dan23 says they did nothing about the Titan. Yeah, I knew they wouldn't. I think everybody kind of knew they wouldn't. As much as these people want it, it's just not going to happen. So, it's not a big shock.
No, it's one of those payoff things. I mean, they already gave us more than, considering how much we thought we were going to have for TNG. I think they gave us more than we were expecting. So be happy we saw as much as we did, and they can only go from there. But yeah, so we ended the season on a surprisingly. Oh, we did it. Moving on. No.
So surprisingly general. Oh, we did it.
But it was a surprisingly resolute ending. You were expecting some sort of cliffhanger. We were both expecting a post-credit or during-credit sequence of the red signal portal. Not Red Angel suit, different red energy vortex thing. A red portal opening up, and we see the robot hands are coming out, and implying, yes, they're going to come back, because obviously that's what's going to happen. No, instead we got a sense of this crew, who's not a crew, are going to go away from the planet with no mission, no directive, no purpose, a reset Picard's life, Jurati should be in jail, Raffi, who is off drugs probably, Rios, who's now better than he's been for a few years now, Elnor, who is no longer bound to the dude's sword, no one's sword specifically, since he's no longer helping Seven the XB, so he's now, meaningless until he finds a new thing, and Seven, who wants to get in Thingy's pants, maybe.
Yeah.
That's all we left her off with. So yeah, that's how we end the season.
Well, Chris Quillen puts in $2 or £2 and says Q will turn Picard back into a human. That'd be funny. I'd be down with that. Turn him back into a human that's immortal. Just to be a dick. With all the little pains, and that'd be funny.
That's funny.
So yeah, I'd love to see Q in season 2, actually. I think they could work something really well with the plotline with Q. But they won't.
Well, I can imagine Picard asking for Q's advice on the synths. Q, damn it! Talk to me! Hello, Mon Capitan. Look, Q, there's these alien race forms outside of time and space. Do you know them? Oh, yes, they're very dull, boring creatures. Oh, so you've seen them? Yes, we occasionally butt heads with them, but we just turn the off button. There's an off button? Oh, not for you. What can you tell me about them? Well, don't bother them and they won't bother you. We've bothered them. Well then, good luck. Did you learn lesson the first time when I gave you the Borg? No. That could be fun. That I could see happening.
I don't remember that time.
That was when I was human still.
Fleet Pause flip back $2. Will the Enterprise E show up in season 2? Captain Worf. People need to give up on the Enterprise thing and Captain Worf. No and no. I mean, Worf might show up. I doubt he'll be a captain, especially of the Enterprise, even though apparently that's what's in the book, which is not canon. So
yeah, it is the book, so it doesn't really help very much. Neither is Siobhan saying things.
Yeah.
It's like what you forgot, what you didn't show us in the story is not canon. That's your mistake in editing, or you in a corner. Although the Enterprise Z is certainly not in service. But, could be.
Yeah, because it's not the flagship. That's right.
Well, no, I think Riker just meant the flagship of that armada.
This fleet. Yeah, could
the
be.
The writers meant that. They just don't realize that a flagship is a flagship. But the E, especially the E, certainly not. I could see Sovereigns appearing if they ever be bothered to make a new model of it, or reuse the one from Nemesis, which exists and is fully malleable, but whatever. And Worf would be such an easy sell for season 2. I can see when they start to say, shit, we have to do stuff with Klingons to make the ratings go higher. they'll probably throw Worf in, like the Klingon season. You know, I think that'll be the Worf season. But that's an ace in the hole because you have one chance to do Worf right, as with all the characters. But you got to do the makeup right. You got to really invest in that. You can't cheap out on that, like whatever. And you definitely can't Discovery advise them.
Squadra Course says Worf should be the captain of the Enterprise E. No, he shouldn't. I don't think he's necessarily still in Starfleet. I think he's working with the Klingons now.
I mean, if he was a captain, it wouldn't be of the flagship, would it? He'd never be given command of the flagship. So if it was the E, he's not flagship anymore. And E would be then 40 years old and not the special ship anymore. It's like Riker's more... Right? I mean, Riker would be more likely to get the new Enterprise out of all the people, and that's still paying favourites to the fact that he was on the Enterprise. Harriman didn't serve the Enterprise. Why didn't Sulu get Enterprise? Why didn't Chekhov get Enterprise? Because you don't necessarily do that. There are new younger captains. I could see a younger captain getting the Enterprise. Considering Picard was not that old.
Wesley. Wesley should be captain of the Enterprise. Kim. Yeah.
Kim of the Enterprise F. See, it writes itself.
That must be awesome.
But we'll definitely do Enterprise F at some point. They just got to decide if they want to make it a stow ship or not. Which I doubt they will.
Well, they don't want to make those decisions. They don't want to.
Make decisions.
So that's not going to happen either. But
no, but it could happen. It could happen as, we'll never see Spock. Shit, the show's not doing very well. Let's bring Spock in.
Yeah.
It's the same way. There's definitely more hype with Picard, although I think less hype than when it started.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think season 2's got a lot of potential. I just wish they would have left a cliffhanger of sorts. I mean, I guess they kind of did with the admonition people coming through, and then that being closed. I mean, there's a possibility that they know where to go now, so the chances they might show up. But I don't think that's going to be really followed through with in season 2.
You know what it'll be? It'll be the conspiracy aliens again. Of course they should come back, but they never did. Why?
Well,
because reasons. That'll probably be what ends up being.
Yeah, I could see that. Let's have them come back. That'd be fine.
Yeah, no, that'd be a fun season, and it'd be dark because you could see, you see Geordi be controlled. Whatever, you want to go very dark with it. And it makes you wish that they had done even a subtle cliffhanger where like you said, the tendrils are coming out, and one gets sliced before it gets whatevered, and then it moves a bit and then becomes active again, and then like trans phases out, and you're like, oh, where did it go?
Mm-hmm.
But to the eye of the person in space, they just see it as destroyed, but it's actually now in our time, in our galaxy, as reconnaissance. Because once they're in our galaxy, they can then choose when they strike. Whereas you would assume, if they're not in our galaxy, they would just come straight back. Because if they were in our galaxy, they could argue they're waiting and biding their time.
Yeah, but the fact is, they have the information now. They know where the signal's been originated from, and I think there should be some kind of follow through with that. But
I had someone on Facebook message me and say he thinks those aliens might, or the since maybe warping to our location as we speak. And I said, well, they just used the beacon portal. And he said, what makes you think they had beacon portal technology? And I said, because they're the ones that left it for them. They had that 100,000 years ago. It's like, oh really? I didn't get that. It's like, you didn't get that?
They can move suns. I'm pretty sure they use portals to do that.
Well, that'd be fun, yeah.
Katie Carr, though, throws in $5. Alcoholic Raffi 7 is wrong, and using 7's character for LGB representation. Shaban even said he's using her for that. 7 is not 7. I miss old 7. Again, doesn't really bother me. I just wish it wasn't so quickly thrown in the last little minute of the last episode without any kind of lead up to it. So.
Well, you heard the rationale for why that scene even happened. It's because on set they decided to do it, the two actresses. Wasn't scripted, wasn't planned, they just thought of it on the spot.
Wow.
And then it became the canon, what they're doing for season 2, and it's like, wow. Because they had chemistry apparently during those other scenes. Dan23, the canonical Star Trek Picard prequel novel reveals Worf replaced Picard as Enterprise E captain. Dan23, problem is they said that's the same thing for the Discovery novel. That was canon, it was decanonized, and for the Countdown comics, decanonized. So no, we're not going to take the book as canon because books aren't canon. They might use it, but I guarantee in season 2 they'll. Do you really think they're going to use that book as gospel? They won't. Everything in that book is now solid. They're not going to tweak anything. So let's leave that out for a bit. They say it's canon, but let's not give them that trust because they're going to undo it. I'm sure for season 2.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I would never take anything like that as canon. So, look out, Tower Radio, £5.
Thank you.
Would have been great if it was the Enterprise F with Riker. Now that the B4 continuations of Data will not happen now. A lot of things would have been great, but unfortunately, we got what we got.
And even if there is, the problem with having like an Enterprise F is that that's a bit of a, it can't, the Enterprise can't be the only ship in the quadrant 120 years in a row. So why would he be able to use the Enterprise? I mean, it's also, when you think about the timings, it's also silly to even think he can get there, because in the span of 2 days, he was able to find transport off-world, go off-world, get Starfleet to recommission him, get the ship to him, and marshal the entire fleet, and warp the full 2 days. I mean, unless the entire fleet was right there anyway, there's no, that doesn't make sense, the timings, if you break it down. That's why having more ships is less logical. If there was, say, 3 ships, if it had been, a ship, a Defiant, and a Kira, they're like, okay, random ships. But, obviously the CGI people who ran out of time and money thought, these ships are crap. We know they're crap. If you put more of them on screen, it'll impress people.
Yeah.
Has something to say. But, quality over quantity. They went for quantity over quality. And
I heard somebody say that there were, first of all, it was the last week before that the visual effects were done, but also that because of the COVID thing, all the effects guys were working from home. That's why they ran out of time and didn't have time to do a fleet, which to me makes no sense at all. So I don't buy any of that. But I mean, I forget who sent me that information, but I was like,
Well, they did scripts months ago. They knew they had this ship months ago. They could put model on. I mean, there's so little visual effects in the entire production that to say when they have 2 months to go, and they don't think, right, we have to get these ships made. I mean, that, like I said, that ship model is 2 days of full-time work with a tandem modeler, a week of part-time work with a medium modeler. I know 3 modelers that could do it easily. So yeah, I mean, yes, fine, work from home, but I mean, that just shows bad organisation to not be done before. Yeah. I mean, Voyager was not done before Sunrise the night before, but guess what? They had 23 shows on less money. So
they had a week to do each show, basically.
Yeah. Whereas Picard was filmed finished ages ago, so they had time for post. Very strange. It's just bad planning. Yeah, bad planning.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh wow, got a lot of super chats. Kind of jumped ahead on me.
Awesome.
Scamper5 puts in £2.
Thank you.
I hope it doesn't, but I think season 2 will stink. Why do you say that? Just based on season 1? Like, were you a fan of season 1, or is it just? I don't know.
No, I think it'll be better.
It'll be like season 2 of Discovery. Yeah,
it'll be. Won't feel rushed. Which, like Chabon said, it took us a year to learn how to make the show. That's fair. But maybe less ambitious, less poor with your budget. Like, I'm rewatching the first 2 episodes, and now I know all I'm seeing is all we're getting. I'm thinking it looks cheap. When you watch the season to start off, we think, oh, all these cool sets. But when you realise you're going to spend every single episode at the chateau, you're thinking, it's the same set every episode. Oh, that ball corridor is the same ball. Like, it looks cheap as all hell. Now you know the entire landscape. All the money was spent to go on location, like 3 locations, and not on the actual sets. Shocking.
Yeah. Jeff Jacobs, $2, 50 likes.
Jacobs!
You guys are amazing. Stay involved. That's right. Hit like. We have 155 people here. Everybody make sure you hit that like button. Simple to do. Helps us out. It's a very easy way to help the channel. So please do so.
We have 157 people watching. And only 60 likes.
That's pathetic.
I mean, does that even make sense?
No, it doesn't. As Spock would say, it's most illogical.
And as Spock would also say, I like science.
And he likes likes. He said like in that sentence, so therefore you have to hit the like button.
So just be like Spock and like the like button.
It's a science to hit like. There you go. What I should have said.
And if you hate Michael Burnham, click like.
If you hate Michael Burnham, click like. I love it. Watch this. It's like 500 likes all of a sudden. Olivia Julius, $10.
Thank you.
Since you asked, I believe the Picard will go back to his vineyard in season 2, grab his fertilizer sprayers, put them on his ship, and rig them to use in a space battle. Yes, he's going to spray magical pixie juice over the enemy.
Wow. See, I was excited what you were going to say until I heard the bit that I wasn't excited to hear about.
Yes.
Although I guarantee they're going to go back to the chateau and pick up the Romulans, but then the cast would be too big. But they should really swap Elnor and Jurati for Laris and Dude.
Yeah.
I just was rewatching. I don't remember the guy's name. Because really, they almost represent the same things. Laris was a really good science lady, Jurati. The other guy was an assassin guy, Elnor. And they both have better chemistry. I'm just saying. Although you're cutting two young people for two old people, or older. But I mean, Excelsior are quite useful.
I would say so, yes. Elnor wouldn't get along with them if he ran into them, I don't think. Because they're Excelsior and he's...
Oh,
yeah.
But he can talk about how shitty they are, and they can sort of like jest, like, oh yes, yeah. Whereas we were killing people for them, we thought they were a bit shit too. And Skyfall very kindly says, I love Trekyards. You have kept me sane for so long. Stay strong, and see you next time. Thank you.
Well, we're not doing our job then. We've got to drag you down into our insanity. Fleet Pass Swiftback, $2.
Thank you.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
Nope. Skip the whole way back.
I did. Mark Lawrence, $5.
Yes.
I don't want any more characters from previous series showing up. Most of them will be there just to be killed off with this writing team. See, that's the thing. I do want other characters to show up. I just don't want them to be killed off. So, because ones we need. We need to see Worf. We need to see Geordi.
Yes.
And we need to see Beverly. Beverly's important, especially in Picard's life.
And Beverly wasn't killed, and the whole thing, that whole rumor mill, which I didn't really buy for a second. Oh yes, Beverly's been killed, and that's the reason he's so angry. Nope, wasn't mentioned once. So, rumor, not real. Didn't think it was. But the fact that they have kind of gone with the Star Wars trilogy sequel, where let's make the old characters worse to make the new characters seem good.
That's the problem. They want to push the new characters, right? So
the
old characters, yeah.
But why don't you just do everyone good in different ways? Like, you don't need to make Seven a murderer to make Raffi look good.
That would require writing talent, I think.
But the thing is, Hugh was a medium, but they knew he was going to get killed. So they didn't need to disrespect him because they knew he was going to kill him anyway. But Hugh was done pretty well.
He was good, yeah.
But he didn't mean anything in the grand scheme. Actually, rewatching it, you realize sort of how meaningless he really was. Too many plot threads, guys. Should have simplified it. I kind of want to do an edit now of the entire season with just the chateau scenes and just the scenes in the Borg room. That's every single room. And see how many minutes of the entire season in those two rooms. The two redress rooms. I think once you break that down, you realize how cheap the season is. Because, like, God, those rooms are everywhere. Pisses me off to no end. And I don't know why that pissed me off more than anything, but that one white room. It's like my kryptonite, I hate it.
I can tell.
Blank white room with light pillars. Great.
Fleet Plus Swiftback puts in $2. More Admiral F-Bomb. I didn't mind Admiral Clancy, actually. I wish she would have been not replaced in the final scene. That being said, Alexi and Riker, but would have been great to see her come to Picard's rescue and kind of say, yes, you were right, Picard.
Well, it would have been a payoff to the end. I mean, look at the symmetry of the first episode to the last episode with Data. Clancy would have made sense for the second. And in fact, in rewatching that scene with Clancy, knowing the entire season, without any sense of mystery, I don't feel as bad about how she treated him. I don't know why, but now having seen the entire... Because when you're watching it thinking all these things could be happening, you're like, well, none of these things are happening. It's very standard. You're like, okay, she's not as bad as you think, apart from just her swearing because she likes to swear, which I thought was kind of interesting. I wasn't as negative towards her this time.
Mm.
Wasn't expecting.
Well, Tony Paparoni
Hey,
puts in 400 rubles.
thank you.
So thank you.
Always
If you're a long Star Trek fan, how can those things not bother you? If you're a lifelong Star Trek fan, how can what things not bother you?
I think everything we've been talking about.
They do bother us, but the fact of the matter is that it's what we have in front of us. We just complaining about it because we want what's in the past. It's not going to help. It's been laid out. It is what it is. You need to talk about it. And yeah, I just bitching for the sake of bitching is just annoying.
Well, DS9 at the time was not liked in the same way because it was very ahead of its curve. It was serialized storytelling. It was dark. It was moody. They didn't go anywhere. They didn't do any science or science fiction or aliens or it was very what it was. But what it did do, it did extremely well, and the writing was incredibly intelligent. So new for the sake of new can sometimes work. Even Galaxy Quest, right, was a very different new version of how to make that film. Pays off. Doesn't always pay off, but you've got to at least let them try and do it well. The problem is when the writing lets itself down, then you're like, okay. And the writing on Picard and Discovery is so much inferior to DS9. In the generalities, it's laughable. But definitely still enjoy Star Trek and still watch them. And we're a big part of the reason why we got Klingons with hair in season 2 because the fans spoke out.
And a D7.
And a very, very good D7. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Tom Casey, $5. For me, the first season of all Star Treks are a little rough. Just like the Picard, have to see what happens next season. I'll agree to that.
But I'm not going to rant on that again. I had a rant last time. I'm not going to get into that again. Please look at yesterday's video.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Scamperfy, £2. Because I want my 24th century back, I miss it. Fair enough. But like I said, it is what it is. It's where we are right now. Doug Nor puts in $5. The aliens will return. Picard has an edge because he is now a synth. But does he have an edge? Well, they'll be able to tell he's a synth and not kill him, I guess. Or maybe he could be the spokesperson for our galaxy, but
well, yeah. I mean, what about what a better negotiator than the half and half? He's synth with a human brain. I mean, is he not the first synth with a human brain? I mean, talk about melding of both worlds. I mean, Babylon 5, Delenn becomes best of both, and in Battlestar Galactica, those Cylons that fall in love with humans who actually have those feelings that love is the thing that connects us. They're a good in between too because they understand both sides. So I mean, yeah, I think he is. If and when they come back.
Yeah. And then Olivia Julius, $2.
Thank you.
I believe Picard's fertilizer sprayer will be hacked. No, she says his new body will be hacked. I expected a fertilizer thing from her. But yeah, I mean, it's a synth organic body. I don't know how hackable it might be because we don't know much about them really. We just said they are very difficult to differentiate between them and an actual android. So plus he's got no augments or anything. He's just kind of vanilla old man robot.
Yeah, I wish we got more clarification as to what he is and what he isn't, because he's not human. I mean, the fact, Soji isn't, however much you want to think of her as basically human, she can smash metal with her bare hands and not even have a bruise. So her skin is not human. It has none of the same human abilities or detriments. So clearly, they are different from human. End of story. In the fight on the rooftop, she's able to dodge blaster rounds effortlessly
and jump up the stairs.
So whatever you say about them being basically human, even without those specialist things, at the very least, like I say, Picard has a faster neural net now. He can think probably faster. maybe not zooming speeds, only limit. I mean, I'm sure his brain can't go faster than his old brain could, because that human brain aren't designed to do that. It's like the dude that took over Data. He was able to use the strength, but he wasn't suddenly smarter, was he? The brain was undoing Data a little bit, but he wasn't able to access all the memory, all the potential of that brain. It was, he downloaded his essence into it. So I think,
And Carlos A. Smith points out Trekyards Picard is full synth. Yes.
Synth organic, yes. He's not Data.
I think
synth-organic.
I think it's because you said he has a human brain.
He does have a human brain signature.
Yeah, he's got
But we can assume to some extent that maybe he has a. I mean, would they in a synth organic, would they put a brain style device that looks like a brain and quacks like a brain? I mean, if you want to make them, not be scanned as be synth organic, I mean, you have to, wouldn't you? You'd have to mimic everything, otherwise they'd be detected. When Soju walks in and out of the Borg recreation facility scanner thing, and she's not bleeped. I mean, I'm assuming she has enough of a human signature to be, indistinguishable, which means she'd have to have all the same. They didn't give us the information. That's the problem, Stuart. We can't make assumptions. It's like Data. He had none of the same pieces. He was just external. Everything else internally was circuitry.
Yeah.
I never quite went into that.
Fat Produce puts in $2. Hope the tone of the new show is less dark in season 2. I do too. Yeah, whether it will be or not, who knows?
I think it would have to be, just because of the. Because started out hating his life, and now he's quite happy with his life.
Yeah. You'd hope.
I think they probably heard the message that it was too dark for us. Same lesson from Discovery, and they learned it well. Although then we got babies being murdered. So, I mean, less dark on the outside, but still as rotten dark on the inside. Like severed heads of babies. Which is not something I thought I'd see in Star Trek. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But Discovery's full of surprises.
Tony Paparoni puts in 200 rubles. Says, yeah, but we don't have to be here. Make your voice heard. Shaban stated he wanted to piss off people. Come on. Yeah, but the problem with boycotting something, and then they say, oh, well, there's no money in that. We're just not going to make anything new. It's fine. And it gets put on the back burner for another 12, 15 years.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, there was Star Trek content all throughout the dark days. Like, there's Doctor Who content all throughout the dark days. I mean, there'll never not be, because it's such a... there's always people that are going to buy stuff. But boy, if that thing about Shaban's right, you want to piss off people, then he's just being Ryan Johnson, isn't he? Ryan Johnson said, if I can... I only want 50% of the audience to like my work. 50% can hate it. That's called true art. And it's like, have you seen Avengers Endgame? 97% of people like it. Make something that people like. I know it's difficult, but it's doable, and then everyone likes you for it. Like I said, they're filmmakers, the Russo brothers.
Hello, everyone.
Eugene throws in 250 rubles. I'm quite afraid that two things will be inevitably referenced. A certain beer label and certain U.S. November event. Everything else can be changed, retcon, ignored. Well, I don't know what you're talking about with either one of those things.
Corona and election.
Oh, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, I assume. I mean, I don't know when their elections are. Why the hell would I know when their elections are?
It's in November, yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, right? You say that, but remember, as soon as before Picard came out, he said in an interview, "Well, we're going. This season's about Trump and Brexit." Sorry, where was Trump or Brexit? I saw none of either.
Guys,
and where would you say? I mean, I didn't see any of it. I mean, you have
I didn't either.
refugees, but they also had an armada. So refugees with a full armada doesn't quite work as refugees.
It doesn't work, and I don't know where that came from, because there's nothing like that referenced. In my opinion, I mean, there could have been. I'm not politically savvy. I might not have noticed something subtle, but
I missed it.
Yeah. Jeff Jacobs, $2, 100. Yes, thanks so much. 150 to make Jeff pay. Guys, 180 of you watching now. Please make sure you hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Let's get those likes up. Do it.
Do it. But it's like apparently they reshot Discovery Season 2 to take out a lot of Pike's wanted about faith and God and such.
As religion, yeah.
And it's like there's basically none of that left in the thing, and you wouldn't think watching it where you'd even put it. It would stick out like a sore thumb. You'd remove it, and it's just a normal good character Star Trek piece with him. So maybe they decided in the editing room. Maybe Patrick had some, no, people must be treated fairly, and we must stay part of the Federation at all costs. And they were like, we're just going to edit this down. And Patrick watched it like, but where was my speech? Because I don't see powers. And they could have done, this would have been both the unsubtlety of the half black, half white, although also the subtlety of a half black, half white, because no one would even think that would be a social commentary. They could have made Clancy a man who was Trump. But they didn't. They made her a woman, not like Trump. So that's the person you would have done. The person that goes against Picard. But they didn't. So I don't... or maybe they're so subtle in theme that they're Star Trek style. But then why even bring it up? You do no favours saying that early on.
No.
But then it meant nothing, so that's the way I.
Well, who said that? Whose quote was it?
Patrick Stewart in Variety. 1 week before it came out, he did a massive article.
Okay.
So pretty from the source. It's pretty right from the source. But since he didn't even know he was going to die until 2 weeks before he filmed it, I don't think he was really in the writer's room as much as they say he was.
Yeah. Well, not a band account throws in $2.
Thank you.
Where do we email about sponsoring mission briefings?
Trekyards@hotmail.com. We have
that too.
That is going to be back open next week. So sponsor away.
Katie Carr says Patrick Stewart said the show was an FU to Trump and Brexit. Gotcha.
If you say so.
No, he said so. Mark Lawrence, $5.
Thanks, Mark.
Back burner greater than Kurtzman and his staff. So you'd rather have no Trek than a couple of Trek shows in the works that might be good. Gotcha.
I mean, the fact is we still had some nice moments, and it's still so nice to see them.
Yeah.
And once you open the door, because there was Picard and Riker, Frakes was directing, that got him in the door to be in it, because he was in it, Marina was in it, and now the idea of it being back, like there isn't this barrier to entry, because Picard said yes, of course the TNG cast can't say no. So now the precedent's been set. So if they want to have, even Star Trek Janeway, you know what I mean? There's now a slight precedent for we can bring them back and be mildly successful. And don't you want these people coming back, the best characters of the last?
Before they die.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but.
Well, yeah. Well, before they look too old. Because we never had the TOS movies where they all looked older, but they looked remarkably like they were still fresh and just older. We never had that for the TNG cast. We kind of saw them grow up, but now, Marina looks older than Michelle did in any of the Star Trek movies.
Yeah.
Frakes looked worse than maybe Scotty looked worse because he got put on too much weight. But even if it was just kind of weird to think if we had that now, they'd all look like old men then, whereas in motion pictures they look pretty young still, considering.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I didn't buy for a second that Kirk thought he was old in Wrath of Khan and he was 50 something. It's like, really? Whatever. That played more to a modern sensibility than the future, but.
Well, maybe he felt old in the sense he's been captaining for 20 years, and so he's like that's one thing I think we both loved about Beyond, that first 10-15 minutes, where he's saying about the monotony of the same thing, and people it's a small ship and everyone gets around each other and do the same thing, same uniform. That's great. That's really nicely tone appropriate Star Trek for that sort of. Yeah. I need a break. I need a holiday.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Tony Paparoni, 200 rubles. In
Hey.
Variety article, Shaban clearly stated that it will be more of the same for season 2. Again, we'll just have to wait and see.
But I mean, it's more of the same of what worked. I mean, you're not going to actively repeat the flaws, are you? You know what I mean?
You're not going to want to deliberately piss people off.
No, I mean, I hope not. Although Shaban is apparently writing the first 2 and only helping other ones, so he'll be out and someone else. So hey, that person has control then. We saw what Kurtzman did when he changed the, we saw how radically a showrunner has changed season 1 Discovery, and then season 2 Discovery. So if the new showrunner comes in for Picard, say episode 4, says, now I want to change the ending, I mean, it is amazing then to think that in TNG, say, apart from Gene rewriting people's scripts, it had a sort of a singular vision. And especially like Voyager and DS9, it's like they actually just made the show. Why are all modern Trek so turmoiled? And that could be one of the reasons that Lower Decks could be the most successful one of all of them, because I don't get the sense it's meddled with at all. Like, it's the,
No.
the younger cousins sort of doing their own thing, and they'll have a vision from start to finish. Season will be start to finish, and they'll probably have some amazing cameos, because they are voice. They can have everybody. And they better.
Yeah. Yeah. Olivia Julius puts in $5. Is Picard still Picard, or is it a sleeper agent thinking he's Picard before he's woken up? See, considering that Mr. Soong was there, and let's say he is an evil Soong, let's say he is lore in some kind of disguise, new body, whatever. He didn't like Captain Picard. He wanted to hurt Captain Picard in quite a few times. So you never know. It could be that as the Federation is ramping up its new synth production, or making a deal for synths, that he activates Picard. I don't think that's going to happen at all. I don't think that's a very good storyline. But, I mean, I could see somebody thinking that would be a good idea. I personally don't, but, it's kind of like the Cylon thing where, it could just go off at some point. So,
I mean, it's a risk. But it's like, are they actually going to make Patrick Stewart the lead as Star Trek Picard? They did it in season 1. At the center. I don't know. I mean,
but as a bad guy, like,
well, no, not as a bad guy, just like as the central story, But I mean, that would still be different for Patrick. But I don't know if he would. I think he would rather take the character somewhere interesting than have the character him act off character for the sake of being a double agent for so long. I mean, you know what I mean? It's not interesting if you're now a spy bot. Like, he's doing this for very specific reasons. It's not for the paycheck. It's for creative challenge. It's to get himself out there again, and it's to try and get himself more work after the fact. So playing himself being forced to be controlled by Sung, that's not any, he's not got any credibility for that, is he? Whereas if he has to deal with new philosophical questions of life, universe, and everything, and deal with mortality and immortality, all these cool themes, I mean, it's certainly different for him to deal with. And how other characters that he knows reacts to him. How will Geordie react? When he walks towards Geordie with his eyes, will he say, "Captain, are you so
feeling all right?"
Yeah. All your metabolic systems are completely out of whack, sir. Although the real question is, Stuart, just like an insurrection, can Picard still listen to a navigational deflector transporter emitters
Yes,
have alignment by 0.4 microns? Because he was very good at that. Or is that skill lost now, Stuart?
No, I'd say it's still fine. It's still intact.
Okay. I think we're going to see more Riker. On topic, I think we're going to see Riker because he was a success. I think I saw an interesting poll today on one of the Facebook groups saying, would you rather see a Captain Pike or Captain Riker? And Riker was winning 65% to 45%.
Really?
I think that would be a safer bet. Pike's good because Anson Mount impressed us, but if you look at the era they're in, they're going to ruin the era. Captain Riker, they can just move forward, And Frakes is great, just don't have the Discovery Bridge.
With Riker, they can move forward and ruin the future. Yay!
It's true. Like, imagine Frakes might even try and lose weight for that. Not that he's too fat, but we can all lose weight, in the general sense. Because they didn't shoot his lower torso in the uniform, because he was a bit, it's not like a nicely fitted uniform, is it? It's like, let's get away with what we can get away with.
Yeah.
But I think Riker will come back. All they'll say, each season will bring back certain unique characters and not others. So I think Geordie will definitely come back. Although we know Guinan is coming back, Whoopi Goldberg.
Mm-hmm. And again, I think you said it. It'd be interesting for Picard to kind of get her take on his new situation, feeling like he's maybe lost some of his humanity, and kind of talk to her and get her, because she's, great for giving advice and been around the block a few times.
She understands things.
And she understands Picard as well.
Yeah.
So I can see him being a little bit conflicted with the situation he's in. Because I know I would be. Because it's that whole question, am I actually me kind of thing. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how she's used in season 2. And what part she plays. Like, oh, there's a big part, or if it's just like a one episode visit kind of thing,
I mean, I'd rather have the Riker Troy treatment, which is a full episode of properly done time, than a recurring small part. Personally, bet more than Brent was given. 2 good scenes not maketh, and Erickson, but Whoopi's interesting or Guyan's interesting because I can. It was weird to see Picard be so centered in the last few moments. I know they wanted to wrap it up, but he definitely shouldn't be. But I could see him not being able to sleep properly, or he has visions or whatever, and he goes to Guinan saying, "Guinan, am I still me?" And she said, "Oh, we had synthetics in our world because we know nothing about Elorians. I would be fine with them saying they had synths. Why not? That's fine. We had synths, and we pondered the question: are they real? And we decided yes, they are." And he's like, "But what do you think?" "I think you are the man I knew." And then she might use a transporter argument. Are you the same person that you were before you transported here? Your molecules are dematerialized, put into a computer system. And then
I can see her making that argument. Yep, I can see her making that argument.
But that's different, is it? Is it, John Luke? Your brain was scanned, materialized into a computer via the scan, and then put back into a new body. Your original pattern was destroyed, and you have a new pattern. How is it any different? So I can see that being a very literal, very simple scene, and being and no one can understand it as well.
Yeah.
And it would alleviate the question that people might think of is a transporter person really a person? Because if Guinan, if the show tells us, oh, it's the same person, then I think, you can still debate it, but they do definitely want us to know one way or the other.
Yeah. Tony Paparoni puts in 200 rubles. Hire Rick Berman, he says. I mean, a lot of people had a lot of issues with Rick Berman. I just watched a documentary on YouTube about that.
Which one?
Kind of I don't know. It's like 47 minutes. Talking about him being a misogynist and his issues with gay characters and stuff like that. No, it wasn't the Shatner one. Fleet Pod Swiftback puts in $2. What role will AI soon play in season 2? Assuming he's in season 2. What's that?
Oh yeah, I'm agreeing. Assuming he's in season 2. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I mean, I could see him following Picard around, making sure Picard is doing okay as far as the technical aspect of things, maybe. But I mean, we kind of talked about this in our whole Is Soon lore episode. I mean, it could be that he is in fact still got altered, different intentions that we don't know about, and it could come through with his way he dealt with Picard and the transfer. Why did he keep Data locked up in the Matrix essentially when he could have given him a new body? Why wasn't he mentioned by his own father? I mean, there's a lot of things there that can show kind of a bitterness that if he does come back, he could definitely be somebody to be worried about. So I think they could play that very well. I don't know if he's going to be necessarily in season 2 very much, though, if at all.
Because Brent's a hefty paycheck compared to everyone else. So the value's got to be worth it. But yes, obviously he should come back. I mean, he's the creator. Him and Jurati, the creators of Picard's new body, which should be one of the focus of season 2. Is he real or not? Is he human? Is he still who he was? That should obviously be a factor. I mean, that is a good study in humanity. If you want to sell season 1's arc for being synths are really worth being people, then you need to sell that in season 2 with Picard's arc. Otherwise, what's the point? You know. But yeah, I like the idea that possibly I assume you've seen some Doctor Who. That one in the movie, the anniversary special, you know, they go over saying how they made a new Doctor because they said the other Doctors refused to call him the Doctor because he didn't represent what the Doctor was. So it's a loophole, technicality. So if the Sungs, who actually did not mention their son, even though they should have the several times we met them, if it's because they hated him and he went against everything they went for, then you could see them not want to ever mention him again. I think we've all got people in our pasts that have wronged us. We'd rather just never talk about it ever again, even if it would make sense to. We just avoid it. I think that's fair to say. Because I don't buy him never being mentioned. Obviously, it's a retcon though 30 years ago. So if this you know, it makes sense he might have mellowed in the last 20, 15 years and 10 years working with, or 14 years working with Maddox. But yeah, it makes sense he would be a bit of a shit or a Nazi or something dark. Because he might have been shunned from his parents. Why else would he be mentioned by them both, or Data or Law, etc., etc.
A bit of a shit or a Nazi. I like that.
Well, I mean, 2 extremes, but yeah.
Oi. Olivia Julius, $2. Gotta go. I'll leave you with this. Hashtag Picard fertilizer.
Hashtag Picard fertilizer drink. That should be a drink game tomorrow.
Yeah, I should have some good drinks tomorrow, I think. Fat Produce puts in $2. Honestly, Picard got Harry Kimmed and Miles O'Brien.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did. They did it cleverly, though. I thought it was quite well done and handled. It's not really like I expected it. Once I saw the golem, I was like, oh, maybe. But I was still holding out hope it wouldn't be Picard that goes in the golem. But
well, it was an obvious thing to do.
It was, yeah.
I'm sort of giving away some of my secrets for tomorrow, but in rewatching episode 1, 2, where they're talking about Picard's death, it's amazing how hollow that feels now about the Doctor saying, oh, you might die soon, knowing that he's just going to be turned to a synth. That entire scene feels hollow now. It has no emotional weight whatsoever. The first time I was like, oh my god, they're going to kill Picard in season 2 or 3 and Patrick will be dead. And now it's like, nah, season 1, he's gone now, fine. Has no weight at all now. It's very... This is why you have setup and build up. You don't tend to just do the thing and then move on. Otherwise, it just loses the impact that you worked hard to... And you know, you only get Picard's death once. You know, for whatever you can say about Kirk's death...
Well, they can do Picard's death twice now, although the real Picard's already dead. But...
You know what I mean? The real Picard versus synth Picard. But they didn't bring Kirk back. So whatever you say about his death was, he did stay dead. You know, they didn't milk it by bringing him back or whatever.
Wow, Shatner did for the books.
And it was good.
It was very good. It was way better than Picard season 1.
Yeah. Those darn... And the Romulans too. Romulans with Borg tech as well.
Mm-hmm.
Brought him back. Or at least, wasn't cloned, but it was...
Yeah, I got to reread them, but they were good series. Good series. Thank you to Garfield and Judith Reeves Stevens.
Who ghost wrote them and knew what they were doing.
Who wrote, they did all the work. Shatner said, I want to be back. Oh, okay. I'll write a story around that. All right, cool. Put my name on that shit. Anyway. Jeff Jacobs, $2. I think no cliffhanger because they don't know yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's absolutely why.
Which was the opposite in Discovery because they had no cliffhanger. They're like, holy shit, we're failing a bit here. Let's film a cliffhanger.
Oh yes, let's make it an epic cliffhanger that'll grab all the fans back and get them all excited and
let's give Trekyards a ton of money and views for their season 1 review. Let me search that.
Let's give them an Enterprise that's almost an Enterprise that we want.
Yeah.
Although this is where everybody chimes in. I like the Discovery Enterprise. Well, so do I.
So do we.
I think it's a fantastic design.
Your hair is so much better now than it was that day. But that's when Skype was making us go widescreen. So we're very.
Today's a shit day for my hair, by the way, just so you know.
And my hair's really similar. Really. So So back 1 second ago. So the reason they put the Discovery Enterprise in was to go 71,000 views and
Wow.
1.3 thousand likes, that video.
Nice. Well, the fleet they gave us for the end of season 1 of Picard got us some epic views too. It was up to like 31,000 views yesterday or something, which is rocketing up the ladder. So that's good. Eugene though throws in 400 rubles.
Thank you.
I'd rather have darker past, not darker future. Vulcans were odd in Enterprise, but they got fixed by the Forge arc, evolving into something better. And Star Trek is all about positive future and things getting better, not worse. That's very broad strokey. Humans technically are better in the future, but there's still going to be dark things that happen and ways that things that we have to deal with. It's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows when we're out there exploring. No matter what, there's always going to be somebody with a bigger stick than you, but you at least need to have a stick to defend yourself. So it's going to get dark and gritty sometimes. So it should all be optimistic and yay for Star Trek argument kind of bothers me a little bit. It can't always be that way, especially when you're going out and exploring new civilizations and new life forms. You're going to find people that don't agree with you and they're going to cause shit. So you can't always let's be friends. I don't know. It just pisses me off. I understand the vision of the Star Trek in the future and being optimistic. I get all that, but that argument gets so old to me. And you got to admit, you and I are in it a lot more than other people. We hear this shit every day. And we talk about it every day, and it wears on you after a while.
Released 5 times in one day, and then released throughout a week.
Well, yeah. But you know what I mean. It's always kind of in our... I don't think I can go a whole day without seeing the word or hearing the word Star Trek. The words.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm doing fan films in between. It's my job in several ways. But a couple of people's comments, Squadra Course, who's joined the channel, there is a point at which you're saying, I really love Star Trek, but I want to change everything, makes it Star Trek. I'll just leave that out there. Herbus Magnus. Trekyards, remember? They all grieved Kirk dying on Enterprise B, and then they brought him back in the same movie. Trek always does this shit. Thing is, he was in the trailers with Picard, and we knew he was going to be in Picard. So if you watch the first scene, he has no weight either. He was like, oh no, he died. We'll see you near the end of the movie. So it's not the same. They did do it, and it wasn't great either. And we knew from the trailer. Everyone knew. So it's not the same at all. Yeah. But thanks for playing. Although, for 1 second trailers, I'm so happy that even though I watched it 15 years late, when I saw Terminator 2, I didn't know Arnie was who he was because I didn't see the trailer. Nice. I'm so sad for everyone that watched the trailer, the second trailer. The first trailer didn't spoil it, the second trailer spoiled it at the time because it's one of the biggest reveals of a lot. It's really a good moment. So I love watching that one, looking at Robert Patrick, thinking he's a goodie and trying to analyze him. Like, you can only watch that one once, and I had it the correct way around. So I'm always really thankful that I didn't mess myself up there. Sorry, a bit of a side note, but trailers can ruin things.
It was a side note.
That's okay. Did you watch that film knowing, or did you see it fresh?
It's not fresh.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Not a banned account. $2. Season 2, will Picard still be apologetic and incompetent? I don't think he was apologetic and incompetent in season 1. Again, that's another argument I get. Well, somebody's going to yell at him. He needed obstacles to overcome, so that's just how things played out. Like we said, there's probably a lot of people in Starfleet that think he's a goddamn hero and would do anything for him at the drop of a hat.
Well, Riker comes in instantly. I mean, boom.
Yeah. So, I mean, he saved the Federation and the galaxy multiple times. People know that. They even made a point of saying he's probably still on the brochure for Starfleet because he's so Starfleet. So, yeah, the people we saw might have not respected him or kind of had bad feelings towards him for whatever reason.
Who did we see, though? Let's quantify that. Who did we see?
Well, Clancy.
Well, she outranks him. She feels free to talk to him personally, and he disrespected Starfleet yesterday.
Yeah.
And he abandoned his post and left and made them all feel guilty about it when she was under huge political stress. And he didn't even say hi to her in 16 years. And they presumably had bad words about each other in the years before. So
I don't see how that makes him incompetent. I don't see how anything in Picard made him seem incompetent.
I think it's just the frequency of him being put on the back foot and never having that strong moment. This is why by the end of the season, when he has those few moments, you know, like you can see the moment when he's playing Picard again, from playing Patrick to Picard, in terms of trueness, you know. And it takes most of the season, but I think season 2 he's gonna be on the ball, absolutely on the ball, you know. Maybe I always forget her name. She's Raffi. I think Raffi will be the one that will still treat him a bit like because that's her relationship with him. Because they love each other.
She calls him JL.
Yeah. You don't care about them that much if you do that. And Double Guitars says, just gotta say, I like talking about Trek at the moment. It's a really good escape from everything effed up in the world right now. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the other thing that's been kind of getting on my nerves lately is my Facebook feed.
Yeah.
My friends, some of them, that are working from home and they just got to bitch and whine and complain about every goddamn thing every day. And it's just like, I'm getting kind of sick and tired of it. Just stop.
I just focus
find something. Exactly. Find something bright to talk about. Don't go on and on about how you're depressed because you're at home and your cat's your coworker. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If your cat's your coworker.
Yeah, it's funny how... God, coworker like that. But it's funny how, for a lot of people in the UK, they're now getting paid 80% of their salary to not do anything. You and me, we're still working. Full time. No money from the government. I don't get anything. Everything I earn for the next however many months is fully earned by me for my own hard work. I'm not getting any... Whereas people do get genuine... I mean, it's a sucky holiday, but, you know... You might get a 12-week holiday with your kids and family. Paid holiday. It sucks, but there's a weird bright side to a lot of people's lives. They get a lot of free money for doing their work. And I think when people get out of this, it'll be weird how, wow, I'll go back to work again. I haven't had to work in 34 weeks. Shit.
Well, yeah, I'm waiting for the Facebook, those Facebook posts in like 2-3 months or whenever, how long it is. Oh, it's weird leaving the house and going to work today. Da 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 da. And then 2 months after that, I'm so sick and tired of. So sick and tired of work. I wish I was on quarantine. Yep. You're gonna see that shit at Christmas time.
Oh, how could I travel an hour to work each day? How did I ever deal with this? That's like.
Yeah. Anyway, Tony Paparoni, $2. Is it officially worse than Discovery? No.
Ooh.
It's officially not worse than Discovery, not by a long shot.
Because the thing is, Picard just didn't reach his potential, but it was a better ride. Discovery Season 2, I think, had some better moments, but it really effed up its storyline to the nth degree. But it did have more episodes and longer episodes and some better moments. But did you care as much? No. You know?
Yeah.
And you felt sorry for people like the bridge crew who know nothing about and don't care about. Detmer. Did you really like her more by the end of Season 2? Yes, a little bit. But at least we knew Jurati was a murderer. At least we knew Elnor is a virgin murder machine. I'm assuming he's a virgin. You know. So, you know, there's only so many characters.
Did you see the meme I shared today of Elnor and the Jurati?
No, what was that?
She's like, well, people think I'm a murderer. And Elnor's like, well, did you ask them if they wanted to live? If they chose to live? Well, no. Then you're a murderer. Yeah. Anyway.
That's how that works, is it?
Well, yeah, you gotta ask them if they want to choose to live.
But, I mean, you know, Narek said no and he didn't kill him. All you have to do is just say no, and you're fine. You know, that's easy.
Exactly, yeah. Narek was like, I very much choose to live, so...
And he did.
Oh, I won't kill you then.
Perfect.
Yeah. What a weakness for the Quo Malat, or whatever they're called.
The real loophole in that.
The Quo Malat. You just have to say, yes, I choose to live. And then you're fine. Yeah. Herbsta Magus puts in $2.
There you go.
Thanks. I was going to super chat you about Kirk dying. Well, there you go. Didn't have to now, but you still super chatted to say that you're going to super chat about it. So thank you.
You're the man.
It's important. Matthew DeFleet, $2. Rewatch Into Darkness, confirming it's crap. Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun movie if you take your head out of the Star Trek world. It's kind of fast-paced and fun. Plus, Benedict Cumberbatch and Chris Pine are pretty good at it, for being good and bad kind of thing. But as far as Star Trek goes, yeah, it's not great.
I mean, the best bits.
It's a good popcorn film. That's exactly.
Yeah. And the best bits are always the actors. The cast are always the best parts of those films.
Yeah. Just don't stack it up against canon, because then it's like, nope.
No. Or thoughts, but I think think about Into Darkness. I think that feels a lot like Rise of Skywalker. Honestly, like in my head, the vibe is like, oh yeah, it's almost the same film.
Yeah. Not a band account puts in $2 and says Clancy served aboard Enterprise D in season 2, episode 3. No, she did not. That is a different actress altogether.
Yes.
Fact check, man. Fact check.
Yes.
It's important. So, I guess the point is season 2 can be whatever it needs to be, and it can be good. The fact that they didn't leave a cliffhanger ending means they're not tied down to any particular storyline.
Yes,
and I love that they didn't leave a cliffhanger ending, because I didn't want to have to wait like a year or however long it's going to take.
This is the truth.
So I'm kind of happy about. I'm kind of happy about that. It could technically end right now. Like there could be no more Picard, and you'd be like, "Oh, that was a pretty decent, little side quest wrap up for Picard."
Yeah, it was a story of having him find his life again, literally and figuratively.
Yeah. So, I mean, season 2 has a lot of potential. Like we said, there's a lot of plot threads that went nowhere, and some that just kind of ended abruptly that could definitely tie in season 2, like the whole Commodore O thing. We got a video coming out about that. Then a few other things that should be in season 2 probably won't be, but would make sense to be, and it could be expanded upon. So, Jeff Jacobs, $2, designing my "I Choose to Live" T-shirt now. LOL. Yeah, that would be a good one, actually. I choose to live.
It's just weird to think that this season feels like it should be 3 seasons worth of content. I pitched you one earlier in the week that would take the same stories but actually flesh it out over three sets, and it sounds much better. There's so much in this, and yet so little in this. And you think, well, how could this possibly be a 3-season planned arc as like a book? And yet that was the first mishmashed, crammed. Again, I'm rewatching, and the first 2 episodes feel so. Wow, you made these choices in terms of like pacing and what you included in them. You can kind of really start to feel where they just added fat. They bloated it for no real reason. Whereas, to end this, it's like, imagine in Battlestar Galactica, if by the end of season 1 we successfully retook Caprica. It's like, cool. And the Cylons left. So I guess in season 2 they'll come back. But who defeated them? That was the end of the epic battle already. Not quite as exciting, is it? So I strongly don't think they actually thought it all the way through. I think they're saying maybe they had a very vague pitch, but I can't possibly see. I think they might have. Honestly, I think they might have like Last Jedi'd it, where they had like a 3-season arc. The first season was done. The second season will just change it, and the third season will try and make it. The 2 seasons try and go together. It's like, we planned it the entire time. It's like, you didn't though. You thought you did, and you didn't, because that feels like it's going to be this. Which is, you should learn from those mistakes, and even before you write season 1, have all 3 or 4 or 5 seasons planned.
Yeah. But then again, I think they did that. I think that was going to be Picard dying at the end of the series, not necessarily the season. And they're like, we just gotta. It's a great ending. Let's just rush it. The kind of the feeling I get, but maybe they did have more lined out, and it just didn't. They just wrapped it up very quickly. So
Very strange. Very strange.
Zaraxis, $5. Afternoon, folks. Don't mind me. I'm just here tossing a coin to my captain and commander while I keep modeling my new ship.
Oh, yes. Yeah, looking forward to talking about many new ships. Hopefully you'll be able to sponsor some episodes, because you've got some good stuff, man. You've got some good stuff, and you know we're almost back open for business after our 10-week break from doing fan stuff.
Yeah.
You got some good stuff, so definitely worth seeing by the audience. We'll email you next week.
Yeah, and guys, if you want to email us and ask us, to do a show, or if you have an original ship that you want looked at, Trekyards@hotmail.com. Drop us a line.
Because this is our penultimate live on Picard, as in of our season coverage. Tomorrow's our final. I'm sure we'll do more when news comes out, but that's not the same as looking at the season. Tomorrow's our last thing. So hope you guys are psyched. I know we're both looking forward to not talk about it anymore, which is why I filmed the rest of our week's content. So as of tomorrow, we can both have a break from talking about Picard, because we've talked about enough.
Yep.
We've had plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do have new thoughts, having started rewatching it again.
Matthew DeFleetus, are you guys going to be doing deeper dives on the Curiosity class?
Which one?
There's 3 different variations.
Well, no, not just that. Yeah, well, yeah, there is. But I mean, Siobhan
which
one it is.
Ibn Majid.
When he decides which one it is and doesn't make a mistake, then maybe. Although it's funny, I have a modeler who I use for most of my important stuff, and he said he was so disappointed by the look of the bad quality model at the end, he doesn't even want to model it.
Wow.
Which is saying something for him. He's a good guy. So I mean, obviously, I think we both love to see it fleshed out at some point. Because boy, it needs to be fleshed out. I'm sure if you take that design, one of them, one, two, actually finished it, it would look a lot better. And retcon it in the deflector dish.
Mike Bravo says, do you think IDW would do an after Star Trek Picard comic? Oh, very likely. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a thing that happens. So, yeah, I would say so.
And Trout Bum Wombat. Really, sir? Really? I like the new badge and uniforms. Hope for more next season. Yes, having rewatched the first 2 episodes, boy, that uniform looks nice. That Voyager-esque one. I really hope we see. I mean, his Riker, he looks good. Give us a more Federation vibe. It's sorely needed. I mean, there's a reason why every single season has been Starfleet. That's the core of Trek. You've had a season away, now come home for a bit. Have the Serena dock on board a Federation starship.
Yeah.
And do missions with a ship. Perfect. Yeah, we need more of them.
Absolutely. Ozzy Maderos puts in $10. Here's another coin for the Captain Foley and the Governor Commander tomorrow.
Does make a difference. Thank you. And Zephyr Gibbons asks, is that what is originally called the Curiosity class? Both the Ibn Majid and the Riker should both call the Curiosity class.
Yes.
What's his Siobhan hasn't kept track and sort of.
Because Siobhan doesn't care about chips, so he doesn't care at all.
Very strange. And Patrick Kensis says Drunkyards. Yes, Drunkyards is tomorrow.
It is. Let's see. Eugene, 250 rubles. F-bombs must go away with current trends. Never once per season of Discovery. Multiple times per episode of Picard. The middle of season 2 will sound just like The Wolf of Wall Street. God. I don't think it'll be ever that bad.
And I'll be honest, what would you think if I said they get 1 swear per season?
I mean, that's fine. But who are you, the swear police? You're not my mom.
But you know what I mean? Like, a swear can be used for powerful effect, can't it? So if you get 1 a season and they pick it carefully, and one is... I think that's out of the box, but I think if you use it properly, Yeah.
And Jeff Jacobs is asking for 19 more likes. Guys, come on, hit the like button if you haven't, because I know 19 of you out there haven't hit it, so just smash it. Just don't break your computer doing it, that's all. You can hit it gently. So yeah, I'm thinking season 2, perhaps those aliens will return
Mm.
or be mentioned again.
Or, very simply, we might get a new character introduced, which is an organic synth from their neck of the woods,
Ooh.
revealed by the end of season 2. It's like Ilea, it's like a probe.
And turns out it's Elnor.
Or they replace Elnor. I mean, that'd be kind of fun if they replace one of the characters and no one knows until the end of the season. It's like when Bashir was swapped and you didn't notice until you suddenly, until he was. That's a really good reveal. That's a really strong reveal.
Yeah, him and Martok.
And Martok. You didn't really see Martok as much, so.
No, but great episode though.
No one could have saw that coming. But no, I definitely think we're going to get a lighter season, more positive Picard season. We're not going to see Jurati's drug addiction problem, but we're going to see her with her son.
You mean Raffi's?
Again, for some reason, that woman. Raffi's drug addiction problem is going to be gone, but I think it'll be a son and her granddaughter. That'll be her arc, which is fine. And maybe like another maybe she brings up another conspiracy to Picard, saying, "Hey, Jael, I was right about this one. I'm right about this one. No, the Folians aren't involved in Tellarite mining. Well, there'll be conspiracy debunkers of the galaxy."
Like the Mythbusters, only different.
Yeah. And I think I definitely think that Narissa will come back and she'll be one of the villains.
No, I don't want that.
Again, it feels obvious. Just as much as Phasma went and came back.
I know, but please no. Please Swift. Oh.
No, it's fine.
Please pause Swift out $2. Will season 2 be longer? There's no way to know. Probably not.
Well, we've already got standing sets. Like, the money was spent if they'd used Less Arena again, then, the several million how could it be several million? It's such a shitty set. There's several million to build those sets. I mean, come on, there's nothing in them. They're boring as all hell. So a lot of the money's already been spent. They might extend the ship, but they built the entire ship. So, I mean, there's not much more to do.
They might build a Starfleet ship.
Exactly.
Play a big part, maybe. That can be redressed to other Starfleet ships. I'd be down.
Yeah. Well, especially if they make like they build like TOS, but like the Star Trek Continue sets, like a certain 3/4 of it, but each console's movable, so you can then move them all and then reconfigure them to make different. Yeah, they're perfect. I mean, how smart would that be? Brilliant. And no holograms, because then you don't need to have. If everything's physical on set, then there's no. You spend the budget once, then you move them, and then you got more.
Yeah.
And you build a captain's chair to like move, so you can have something like it has armrests and they can disappear, or you can have back piece that you can just swap out, or lights you can turn on that are hidden that you just that'd be great. Then you can have like a whole fleet battle with the same bridge, but you redress it properly. Put time, because time and thought makes a big difference, and Picard had neither for a lot of stuff, not everything, but a lot of stuff.
Did Picard have any enemies that he acquired during his TNG? Con level enemies that are just bitter against Picard.
I mean, you had the Cardassian with the 4 lights.
Oh yeah, Gul Madrid. Yeah.
Admiral Dougherty. You destroy my fucking career, you fucking fuck. Oh no, he was killed. No, he's fine. He was killed, but brought back. His face is really stretched and he's got scars where it came back together. Because they never said he died. He just looked like he was dead.
It's true.
I like Doughty for what it's worth. I like Doughty.
New Joker.
Who else?
There's not many though. I don't think. A lot of people.
Rowan Aaron.
Oh, I hate that bitch.
Well, exactly. Have her come back as she ended up being in a slave camp for 30 years or something.
Or the lady from Lower Decks that they thought was dead, and she's actually been alive this whole time, and she's pissed that Picard didn't come looking for her.
Yeah, which has deep dark secrets about Cardassians. Yeah, Damon Bok.
Damon Bok, which one's that?
The one that he killed the guy's son, and then all that stuff. Or the dude at the start. Jason Barlock says Sela, Bok, the Borg, Vash, kinda. Norskans, the Norskans stabbed in the back. Puny human, I not kill you once, I kill you again.
Let me play Domjat.
Well, wasn't Ro killed the rest of my key? That's what I'm saying. That she wasn't. She resents him for not saving her. That sort of thing.
Should be because
That's actually. That's a really interesting point. Actually, how many people like you could count Janeway's villains on a couple of hands.
Oh, yeah.
Hate Janeway.
yeah, Cisco too.
Less so, I think, because there's a lot less characters in DS9. Because it was more like the same characters every week.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want Cisco being on your bad side because he kind of goes on vendettas.
Wouldn't it be hilarious though if Janeway kept the Voyager? So her vendettas are with transphaser torpedoes and blade of armor, bitches. She just comes in with everything like, you can't take her out. Janeway is revenging. Although it would be kind of nice to have a Delta Quadrant race appear. I know it's one of the Star Trek Online plots where Herodian, because they're right on the edge of our, their influence is to the edge of our quadrant, so it's not unreasonable that they came along, because Herodian would be a pretty fun enemy. Seems to be advanced a little bit.
Maybe.
Because the armor is so. I just love the armor. I love the look of it, and the gun, while oversized, is glorious.
It's glorious. It's a good day to be a gun. Zeraxis throws in $5. I wouldn't mind more swearing if it were in Klingon. I think it's weird for people to be cursing so much in casual conversation, though. Should be less.
Good night, Mike Bravo. Please do tune in tomorrow. Shall we announce what time we're doing our drunk live?
I already did.
Oh, well, do you want to announce it again? It's been an hour and a half.
No.
Okay, then.
2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's 2 in the afternoon tomorrow.
Yes. And 7 my time, and I guess that's 10 LA time. So if you're in LA, you'll see us get drunk by like 2 in the afternoon. And I think that's okay.
Yay. Zeraxis, $2. Pirate Janeway would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Jeff Jacobs, $2. Paying for 150, but no reason not to have 200. Hashtag make Jeff pay. 191 of you here. If you haven't hit like yet, just hit the like button. It's so easy to do. A child could do it.
And please go give your iPad to your child and let him do it, just to prove the point.
Yes.
And Johnny Zieth says Voyager had the worst ending at the very end I have ever seen in Trek. I guess you haven't seen Discovery Season 2 or Enterprise. Way worse.
Yeah. Canadian Starships. What is the donation method that has the least fees for you? I'm thinking we won't be at Wonderfest. You didn't get the notification on Wonderfest. Wonderfest has been pushed back till October 23rd. 23rd to the 25th now. It won't be at the end of May. Assuming that everything's back to normal by October, that is. So that's the tentative date. Starfest has also been pushed back to the fall. So.
And as for donation method, if you want to support our rent and us to actually keep doing this, that's Super Chat. If you want to support the show in terms of buying new equipment and stuff, and that's PayPal. And if you want to support, Patreon or Super Chat is for us personally, so we can keep doing it. And if you want to support the channel to do more tech-based stuff, then that's the PayPal. Or join if you want to just get rewards on the lives. If you, do the join if you're a big joiner of lives, because then we know that you're a person with a different colour. But they all help in different ways. We love getting the PayPals because they slowly build up over time, and then we know, yes, we can now afford this thing or this thing. That will, so it's a nice thing to slowly build, and we don't touch that friend thing really until we do. It's like we'll take 700 out for this plane ticket, but we've been saving for 9 months, so we can do that.
Yeah.
Which is useful.
As for less fees, I don't know. They're all kind of shitty. They all ding in different ways.
We do need the rent money to live, so
yeah. So I'm kind of done talking about season 2.
Yeah.
Curtis Simpkins puts in $2. Hey Curtis, how's it going? Nice to see you. Thank you for the donation.
Yeah. And I guess
guys, don't put yourself out either. This is a rough time. I mean, a lot of people I know don't have And if they're not going to work or whatever, just take care of yourselves. But just know that we do kind of rely on this, obviously, because it's kind of our job. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're expecting our income to drop like
a stone.
Well, yeah, a lot. After this is why we're doing the last drunk live to last boost of income before Picard finishes, and then we hope that more Trek comes out because we do much better doing that. But we didn't do well, and I think in November we didn't even fund our rent, the equivalent of we earned so little we couldn't actually fund ourselves. We had to say it'll be fine in January, and it was because Picard came out.
November was kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that was difficult. But we do it for you guys, and we know you appreciate it. We appreciate you. But if you can't, don't worry. That's why it's all free content. We value the freeness of it.
Yeah, nothing's behind a paywall, and we could do member-only streams and stuff. We just choose not to because we think everybody should be included. But
we love the discussion. We love you guys' comments. It does make we did multiple years of just us two talking. While I read the comments, there wasn't this live interaction. But it's such a difference when we get these comments because you've given us tangents that are so vibrant and alive, and it's amazing.
Plus, we can ask you to clarify sometimes if we don't understand, so it's very helpful.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing. So I guess just if you can, I'd love to see another $20 the last couple of minutes. So put in a 5. If 4 of you put in a 5, then we can call it a quits. Or save it for tomorrow because we'll be drinking tomorrow. So tomorrow. At 7 p.m. GMT, 2 p.m. Eastern, and 12 LA time. It's going to be good. I'm going to watch the rest of the season of Picard. I'm going to have lots of drinks ready. So my dad, the ambassador, is going to pop by for a bit and give his thoughts. I'd love to see Sylvia pop by and give her thoughts. Give us some time not to talk, because 3 hours of talking does kind of... you guys try talking to a live audience for 3 hours where you can't have silence. It's difficult. Yeah.
See how weird the silence is, guys?
That's why you super chats, we have to read them out.
Dead air is not good air. In this business.
But no, looking forward to tomorrow. It'll be our great send-off. I'm tempted to put another Super Chat reward level where I have to get changed into uniform. Because that was quite fun last time. It's quite surreal to do a live when you're actually wearing TOS uniform. You know what I mean? It's not quite mentally... You're used to seeing myself a little bit differently. I think I did it for $50 last time, which is a lot. But so I only expect 2 or 3 changes max for a long live. But it's pretty funny that you get to say, I want to see Samuel the Wrath of Khan. I'm like, shit. Fine. I have to sort of put on the 9 layers and then belt it up. And I'm really hot. Someone get me out of Wrath of Khan now because it's really hot.
Yeah, I got some stuff I could maybe change into too. We'll see. We'll see.
Sherlock Holmes and then Transformers outfit and then your bondage outfit.
Don't know. Well, I could do that, but the Transformers one, no, I don't have one.
It's the same outfit, Stuart. It's the same outfit.
Oh. Fleet Pass Swift back puts in $5. You guys are the best. The best. And nothing's going to ever keep you down. Sorry. Cheers. Sometimes. And see you tomorrow for Trekyards. Hashtag make Sam drunk. Oh, looks like you got a target on your back.
It's always me, though, that always has that target. I always drink harder than you, but then I just love the fact that you didn't remember. You did go back and watch the end of that live, didn't you? The one
I did not. And I will not. I don't like doing that kind of thing. Zeraxis, $2. Can't wait for you to get back to reviewing ships. Oh, for Christ's sakes. Do you want to take this one? Every Saturday, we do ship stuff, if we can.
Yeah, I mean, we did the $23.99 Advanced Starfleet Cruiser, 45,000 views. The week before that, we had Romulan Warbird First Look. That's a ship. Before that, we had Ibn Majid Design Tease. That was a ship. Before that, was Les Arena. That was a ship. Before that, we had... didn't have a ship on that Saturday. One before that, we did the Antique Bird of Prey. We did the Les Arena. We looked at the Combat, which counts tech. We looked at the Rescue Fleet, to the shuttle. We looked at the Phaser Rifle, which the... So yeah, I mean, most Saturdays during Picard, we've been lucky to have a ship.
The argument of you guys don't do ships anymore, do ships, I laugh at, because we try to have ships every Saturday, which is our regular release day for those kind of things. So
And yet we do some ships who don't even watch them. Zindia Quadribell Cruiser, 2.6 thousand views in 3 months with real 1080p renders of the original ship. TOS Comic Bird of Prey, I thought that was going to go big. 2.1 thousand, even though it's a really interesting video. X302 from Stargate, 3.2 thousand. Again, that's really low. So, watch them because we put work into them.
Taurus 69, $2. 11 a.m. West Coast time tomorrow. # drunk trek. Yeah, they're 3 hours behind me, so. You first said 10, and then you said 12, but you missed the mark. Like a poor marksman, you keep missing the target.
Whatever.
Zar Trek puts in $5. I predict a Worf appearance in season 2. I do too. Not as Captain of the Enterprise because I'd just be down. But yeah.
No, definitely. I mean, Worf's the easiest one. I mean, in terms of like a trailer, they won with no one expected 7 of 9, did they? That was a hell of a nice surprise.
Yeah.
And so boom, suddenly, and considering what they had to work with, they did a good job. Considering. So Worf, they can pretty much do a 1-to-1 as long as they, respect the canon. And as I said before, Armin Shimon did one last go as Quark at a destination, and they got the original makeup artist, the original costume, the original headpiece. And while I didn't get a picture with him because it was like £85, like $120, he looked exactly the same because yes, it's his face, fully done. So if they, they put Michael Dorn, and come on, they could even get bloody Steve Neal. I mean, if they ask Steve Neal to come back and help with his head, I'm sure he'll be able to help them at least get close. Because we'll sense the difference. His head should be changed into the seasons, but they kept it relatively. You felt about right. Just match the Nemesis one. That's part of why Marina looked so good, is because she had her original contacts and such. So the accuracy does make a massive difference, and there should be no difference to change. So if they can make it look the same, then he'll be a non-aged character that they'll get so much fan cred for. I mean, are you kidding?
If it's done right, though.
Yeah, and honestly, I'd like to see properly done Klingons again, with depth, rather than Discovery Klingons, which are the most two-dimensional, warlike, uninteresting... Sorry, I meant the most 3D, most human-like Klingons, as Kurtzman said. Worst Klingons done for years.
Yes. Fleet Pass Swiftback, $2. Bring back Neelix for season 2.
No.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. I don't mind Neelix. I like Neelix.
No, just knowing the context of that'd be really difficult. Or I could see them doing a thing where he transwarps in and we're like, what? And then they're like, a new threat is coming from the Delta Quadrant. That'd be cool.
It's these alien tentacle thingies. They look pissed and they're heading this way.
Yeah.
Just warning you guys.
Yeah. That could be cool. Yeah. Alright, last super chat and then we'll head out. Still 150 people watching. Star Trek makes Sam drunk. Great.
And Curtis, I agree. Janeway for season 2.
I mean, yeah.
I would love to see Janeway in season 2.
Active Admiral, yeah. Especially with the 7 connection.
Especially with the security from O being compromised. It'd be great to bring Janeway back to kind of...
Janeway made head of security for Starfleet. Jesus.
Yeah.
That should be Tuvok. Hey, give Tuvok a promotion. I mean, he'd be a great head of security. And he's also Vulcan. So that might mean he's not good for the job, or they might as a prerequisite because maybe Vulcans are the best to be heads of security because they are more balanced.
Oh.
If you think about that, I mean, we're watching Babylon 5, and Garibaldi is quite emotional and punches people sometimes, and security shouldn't do that. So, emotions are great until they're not.
Theraxis puts in $5. To clarify, I was referring to fan ship reviews. I watched the regular ones and like them, but fans have been putting out better stuff than just CBS recently. Yeah, we've got a lot of originals on the line as far as either written or filmed or
pitched. Anyway.
Or pitched and about to be written. There's a folder full of them, so there's a lot of good Trekyards originals coming out. We can only give you Trekyards originals when we have people approaching us about it. So Trekyards@hotmail.com if you have a ship you're interested in having on the show. Well, I know him, but I'm just saying to the rest of the chat.
No, and I'm excited because the amount of, I mean, there's the Cerberus, which you might remember from our other meeting. I mean, there's so much thought was put into his design that has not been put in since John Eves with the Discovery, before it kept getting changed, and he gave up. So, so much thought, and it's going to be wonderful. And we're also going to cover some fan ships from fan films, the ones I've been working on, which, I put a lot of thought into, and we'll get well, I'm the designer, but we'll get other people from the show on. I'd love to do some discussions of those, because again, I'm really trying to make them canon-y and make them fleshed out, and, so I'm looking forward to a lot of stuff from that.
You mean you thought about the design and made it make sense and fit into a universe that has pre-established rules and aesthetics? Wow. You're a visionary. You're ahead of your time, man. Usually you just say fuck it and do whatever you want. That's what most people in charge of Star Trek these days do. Oh, was that a great thing to end on, or should I?
I didn't press stop streaming yet.
Oh, I thought you hit the stop button. God damn it.
No, I pressed the sarcasm button and apparently it worked. But
F you, Kurtzman. I hate that man so much.
Anyway, guys, so we'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, Zarax is $2. Either way, great stream. You too. Thanks so much.
Thank you. And yes, expect some emails next week, because you have talent and these people should see it. Good.
And Area 51 puts in $2. Hey. Do you think by 223.99 Harry Kim makes Lieutenant Junior? Lieutenant Junior grade. Oh yes, I'm sure has by then. Or Ensign first class, probably.
Yeah, they'll pick a new rank. Yeah.
Anyway, guys, see you tomorrow.
It'll be good. And just to remind you again, 7 p.m. GMT, 2 p.m. your time, and LA is...
11.
There you go. Alright, see you tomorrow for Trekyards. It'll be fun. Until then, the Patel's put the last stream of Picard for a while. Until then, he is Captain Foley.
And he's Commander Coggins.
And he's Captain Riker. See you next time.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.